Next topic is discretionary power. In certain special circumstances, the governor has the authority to exercise his or her special powers called the discretionary power independently without consulting the chief minister. So sometimes there are some situation in which the governor of that particular state have the special power which is known as the discretionary power, which he or she can implement without the consulting the chief minister of that particular state. For example, the governor used discretionary power to appoint a chief minister who, when no party gets a clean majority after the assembly election. So one of the such example is that after an assembly election in that particular state, if no party is able to get maximum number of votes so that they can choose the chief minister, then the governor of that particular state can use the discretionary power and choose or appoint any member or you can say any leader of any political party as a chief minister of that particular state for time being. Similarly, the governor can also ask for president's rule in the state when the state government lose the confidence of the legislative assembly and is dissolved. So the other example is that the governor of any state can ask the president rule in the state. That means the president of our country will have the real power to rule or make laws in that particular state. When the state government that is the chief minister loses the support from the legislative assembly, that means the chief minister does not have the support system in the Vidhan Sabha and in the Vidhan Parishad and in the council of minister. That's why that particular chief minister have to resign it. That's why the governor can use the discretionary power to implement the president rule in a state. Next is the Advocate General. Each state has an Advocate General appointed by the governor to perform various legal functions. So every state there is an Advocate General and who is appointed by the governor of that particular state so that they can perform the legal functions in that particular state. He or she advise the state executive on various legal matter. So it is the Advocate General who will advise the state executive, that is the governor, the chief minister and the council of minister regarding the legal matters. A person qualified to be a high court judge can be appointed as an advocate general. So who can be the advocate general of a state? He or she will be you can say a high court judge. While he or she can take part in the proceeding in the state legislature, he or she does not have the right to vote on any issue regarding the bill. So the advocate general can participate in any proceeding in the state legislature, that is they can either sit in the Vidhan Sabha or in the Vidhan Parishad and look after the proceeding, but he or she cannot give their vote in order to support or go against the bill. So this is all about the Advocate General. Next is administration of the union territories. A union territory is administered by a lieutenant governor or a chief commissioner who acts on the advice of the president of India. So you can say, what do you mean by a union territory? A union territory is a state or you can say is an area which is controlled by the or which is led by the lieutenant governor or the chief commissioner, and the lieutenant governor and the chief commissioner work on the advice of the president of India. He passes the law of the union territory and oversees its administration. So the chief commissioner or the lieutenant governor will pass the law in the union territory and it will look after the rules and regulation whether all the things are working properly in a union territory or not. Fact box: Puducherry is a union territory but it has its own legislative assembly and council of minister. So it is only a union territory in India who has its own legislative assembly and council of ministers. Next is the civil service. While the state legislature and the executive make law, the actual day-to-day administration of the state is carried out by a huge bureaucratic body called the civil service. So we have already discussed that the state legislature and the executive, they make law, okay, but after making the law there should be some body who will implement these laws in a state. So it is done by the whom? It is done by the civil services. Some of these officials are appointed from the Indian Administrative Service. So some of the officers who helps in implementing the laws in a state is appointed from the Indian Administrative Service, that is IAS officers, while some are directly recruited at the state level, recruited at the state level through the State Public Service Commission examination. So in every state there is a public service examination, right? And even and from there also the officers can be selected who will implement the law in a state. The civil service in a state are headed by the chief secretary. So the civil services in a state, it is headed by the chief secretary. Secretary is in charge of different department works under him. So secretaries is the person who will look after the different departments, and the secretary will appoint the different officers according to his or her requirement. They are further assisted by a deputy secretary, joint secretary, and under secretaries, directors, etc. So at the top level will be the secretaries. Okay, under the secretaries there will be deputy secretary, joint secretary, under secretaries, and directors who will look after whether the different types of officers they are implementing the law in a proper way or not in a state. In each district the administration is headed by the district magistrate. So just like in a state, in a district also the administration, that is the rules and regulation, is headed by the district magistrate. So this is all about the civil service, and with the help and hence we complete the chapter.